welcome to the Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I am one of your hosts, Tom.
I'm Tim.
Tim, I didn't have a full breath when I started there, but professional, I still had to muscle through it.
You did great, Tom.
Yeah, thank you.
And Lord knows we couldn't have just stopped and started over. We were too
Not
deep.
once
We were
we
in too deep.
Yeah. I don't want to waste tape. This tape costs a fortune.
Yeah. A lot of people think we're being a little precious about this show, recording it to analog tape every week.
It just sounds better.
It does.
Yeah,
it's like
warmer.
It's like when you watch Project Runway, the leisure class. Not Project Runway, Project Greenlight.
Yes, Project Greenlight.
The movie,
the leisure
class. When you watch that on HBO through your Apple TV,
Tim, nobody knows what you're talking about.
You really,
you
really get the fact that, man, this guy had a vision and he executed it. He shot this on film, and the movie is spectacular for it. Very niche way to start off the show.
A show, an HBO reality show that nobody watched that ended like a year ago that you're making deep cut jokes
Listen, Ben Affleck and Jason Bourne himself, Matt Damien, they were on it all over the place.
They were. Ben Affleck's TV lights.
All right, hold on. Now that's getting very niche.
Yeah. Anyway, how are you doing this week,
Tom?
Tim?
I'm doing all right. I'm feeling a little lightheaded today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Do you think I might be dying?
Hope not.
Yeah.
I mean, at least till the episode's finished.
You know what? I think it might be like a blood sugar thing.
Blood sugar sex magic thing, Tim?
No, just a blood sugar thing. I mean,
so it has nothing to do with the Red Hot Chili
No,
Peppers.
it's not. It's not in the least bit funky. It doesn't rock at all.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with amazing, super cool lyrics. About,
it would explain why you're wearing a sock over your genitals.
Tom, I do that every week. It's the summertime.
Gotta keep them warm.
Yeah, what do you do in the summer? Wear jean shorts like some sort of has-been?
Yeah.
No. Sock on the genitals.
And you're good to go.
Yeah.
Walk out the door.
Hot time, summer in the city. Sock on my dick, feeling warm and gritty.
Well, I never knew those were the lyrics.
Yeah.
So you're feeling lightheaded.
Yeah.
Blood sugar.
Yeah, I just feel like it probably has something to do with my blood sugar, but like I hate people who are like, "Oh, my blood sugar."
Tim, you hate anybody that like is aware of their body.
Yeah, just let everything be a mystery and let things shake out the way.
You don't like when somebody figures out that they're allergic to something and avoids it.
Yeah.
Or
so like, come on, man, just power through it. Wait, hey, have you tried not being allergic to something?
Yeah. But you hate that, but at the same time, any ailment that you get, even though you're joking, I know part of you thinks, well, this might be it.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm very concerned right now.
Yeah, Tim, maybe you should split the difference here. Maybe it would help with both things if you learned a little bit about how bodies work. So if anytime something's abnormal, you don't jump to the conclusion that you're dying. And you can lay off of people.
Nah, leaving it up to God.
Yeah.
How are you this week, Tom?
I'm great, Tim. Plenty of sugar in my blood.
This is great. Yeah, well, there's dangerous levels of sugar in your blood, Tom.
It's mostly sugar. It's very coarse blood. It's like crystallized.
Oh, it's like
it's crunchy.
Yeah, it's like that fancy like farmer's market sugar.
Yeah, like the brown sugar.
Yeah. I know. Oh, yeah, we're on the same page regarding the sugar.
Cool. Great. How are you doing this week besides that, Tim?
I'm doing fine, Tom.
Great. That's all I wanted to know.
All right.
Tim, I was going to see and I was going to propose this as an episode of the podcast today, but it didn't happen. I had a ticket to go see the Warcraft movie yesterday, and I just didn't go.
Well, I don't know what that is, so...
You know what Warcraft is?
It's
World of Warcraft? Wow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Wow. Not Whip 'em Out Wednesday, Tim? You pervert.
I'm lost right now.
You know what Whip 'em Out Wednesday is, right?
Oh, from the Opie and Anthony show.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, man.
Right. This isn't that.
You driving? It's hump day. Oh man, I can't deal with it. This dead end job and my nagging wife.
Yeah.
I'll put this sticker on my car. Maybe a lady.
Well, quote unquote, whip 'em out.
Yeah.
What them are, who knows?
I've been
Part of the
trying to learn
mystery.
this for years. I've been calling up the Opie and Anthony program every morning asking.
Can you put me on the air? I have a question for Opie and Anthony. Now, what exactly are people supposed to be whipping out?
Yeah. What is expected of me?
Right.
That's what I want to know. I never want to
Well,
let
for
O
you-
and A down.
For you, Tim, it's just putting the bumper sticker on your car.
Okay.
That's all that's expected
Cool.
of you.
Sit back and enjoy the show, right?
Yeah.
God, this was like a thing that like you see a lot of those bumper stickers.
Yeah.
Like
On Long Island, at
Yeah.
least,
yeah, the festering cesspool. Yeah, like there are a lot of people that are like, you know what I'm going to proudly proclaim to like literally everybody I pass. Like when I drop my kids off at school, all the staff at the school,
in case any of them feel like whipping them out.
yeah, just everybody. It's like, hey, keep it on Wednesdays, but I'd like to see your bare breasts.
That's what they want?
Tom, I found out finally.
Just now the producer came in and
Yeah, I got a
whispered
text.
to you?
Yeah.
I would like to go up to somebody that has one of those stickers on their car. Opie and Anthony aren't even on anymore, right? Didn't one of them leave?
Well, Anthony was outed as quite a huge racist and
Right.
was fired. Outed is a not the right term because like that show is always half hate speech anyway.
Right.
Do you think we're pissing people off? Do you think there's? I doubt we have
don't
much
think
crossover.
Yeah. But I would love to go up to somebody who had one of those stickers on their car, like an old, worn out, whip 'em out Wednesday sticker, and be like, hey, did that ever work?
It might have, Tom. Who
I
knows?
don't think. What kind of maniac? Well, I guess if there are maniacs that put that on their car, maybe there are maniacs who, quote unquote, whip them out.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do anything a bumper sticker tells me to,
Tom.
especially if it involved showing part of my body nude.
Yeah, I don't know. I find myself calling 1-800-EAT-SHIT a lot.
Yes, I'd like to complain about this driver in front of me. What do you mean? I wonder who has the phone number 1-800-EAT-SHIT.
Probably some jerk.
Oh, that'd be great. I wish I had the phone number 1-800-EAT-SHIT.
No, you'd be receiving calls all day from angry motorists. Tom.
I just wish I had an 800 number in general. Wouldn't you like to give that out to people?
Yeah. I mean, it's doable, Tom.
Yeah.
It's not like
I should look into it.
Yeah. The last time I thought that, like, oh, it'd be cool to have an 800 number was when I was like 7. But like
Right.
now, we have the ability to make that
Yeah,
a reality.
And then
Assuming there are 800 numbers to get, maybe it's like a 212 number in New York City. Like,
they're all taken now.
yeah, like you call the phone company, like, hi, I'd like to sign up for an 800 number, and they're like, yeah, right. All right, you get an 877.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what you get, yeah.
We ran out of 866s.
Yeah. Ugh, disgusting.
But it'd be cool if I had an 800 number, Tim, because then you could call me from a payphone. You wouldn't even have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have to
Well,
worry
I
about a quarter.
call you collect a lot from payphones.
Yeah, which is super annoying because you try and say what you want when they give the beep for your name.
Yeah, and it's usually a classic crank call. Like,
it's Tim, is your refrigerator ring?
You better go catch it.
What?
You better go catch it.
Oh, yeah. That's when you call back.
Yeah.
That's what's also super annoying, that it takes 2 phone calls to get your crank out.
Well, no, here, this is the perfect constructed collect call, prank call.
Okay.
Because you get the call. Like, I call you, right? And I go, they say, this is a call from, Tom, is your refrigerator running? And then you're thinking, of course, yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're too busy thinking of your answer, and you don't hear the operator say, would you like to accept? So you're answering my question. Or you're answering the questions in the order that you receive them. So you say yes. You accept
Yes
the charges.
and no.
Yeah, but
she
it's
just
too late.
hears yes.
And then boom, they patch me through just in time for the punchline.
Yeah.
Well, you better go catch it.
Yeah, the circuits are like connected.
Yeah.
You better go catch it.
And you're like, dang.
And then I'm on the
1-800
hook for that long distance phone call.
Yeah, it is, because I'm usually calling from Paris.
Tim, this week we're talking about a very heady idea.
Yeah, man. Hey, do what prepare your dorm rooms, people. Put on those black lights. Sit
Crank
back.
the Zep.
Yeah, and do what you gotta do, man, to wrap your head around this one.
Tim, we're talking about the simulation hypothesis, which is entered a lot more of the public discourse lately because old Muskie Elon talked about it.
Elon's Musk is the finest Musk.
It's the finest scent.
Yeah. Is that how he became a billionaire? By bottling his musk?
Yeah. Well, in Teslas, instead of new car smell, they have musk.
Yeah. Gross.
New car musk.
Gross. So do we know this for sure? Is Elon Musk some sort of perv?
Why do you think that?
I don't know. And I don't want him to take down TCGTE the way Peter Thiel took down Gawker. So I'll watch what I say.
Right, yeah, because Elon Musk has got a lot of money, too. He can muscle in here and take us out.
Yeah.
Just send some self-driving cars to crash into us and be like, well, it wasn't me, it was the robots.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to have these cars do... People better be ready. Because Elon Musk is going to have these cars do all of his bidding. And legally, he's not on the hook for it.
Like, oh, they came up with it.
Yeah, it's look, guys. It's the what's that thing called? The singularity.
Yeah,
he'll blame it on the singularity. He's a clever one, a devious one. That Musk.
I plan on blaming a lot on the singularity. Sorry, I'm late. The singularity, and then the robot will liquefy me.
Yeah.
Turn me into robo juice.
Yeah, because you'll be trying to justify this to your robot overlord at the time.
Does not compute.
All right, so the simulation hypothesis.
Simulation hypothesis, which you said you know nothing about, which is
I
suspicious.
know broad strokes about it.
So
why do you think that's suspicious? Do you think that, like, I told you that so that when you started talking about it, I'd be like, well, actually.
Yeah, I thought you were looking at, well, actually, man.
I wanted to mansplain things to you today, Tom.
Well, some people would say you've been doing that for a long time.
Oh, poor Tom.
Social justice warriors would say that, Tim. That you.
Really?
Uh-huh.
It's a shame.
Yeah. But anyway.
I don't know. I do not know how to respond to these accusations, Tom.
Well, I think your lack of response says it all.
I suppose that's true.
So the simulation hypothesis is this idea that me, you, Ginger,
and everyone
the
we
dog,
know,
everybody listening to this right now is inside a simulation. That this is not reality.
But guess what?
What?
This is not true.
Why is it not true, Tim?
Because this is real. I'm feeling my hand right now, Tom.
But that could all be simulated. Well, but here's the big thing about it. Why it's gained such or why so many smart people like Muskie Elon think that this is potentially the case.
Right.
Is when you think about technology and you think about like virtual reality and video games and all this stuff, think about like how quickly we went from Pong.
I've heard this, yeah.
To, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Right.
And how much more realistic everything's gotten in games.
A lot more murders.
A lot
just
more
like
murders.
in real life.
Right. If things keep going, it's conceivable that like, oh yeah, maybe in like another 50 years, we'll be able to make a video game or computer simulation so realistic that the artificial intelligence inside the game will not realize what it is and will think that this is reality.
That's fine. So like each one of us, like how do we have separate identities then? How do we have separate points of view if
Tim, you have a secret identity? Perhaps you've said too much.
Blah.
Time to reboot the system. What was your question?
Like, if
How are
like
we
if I'm
different?
playing The Sims, Tom,
Yeah.
which I'm often doing,
Mm-hmm.
each one of those guys are controlled by the central CPU, man.
Were you somebody who played The Sims?
No.
You kind of seem like you would be.
Why do you say that?
I'm not saying it derogatory.
I know, but like, what about me makes you think that I'd
because
be
I
a
think like
Sims guy?
because you're not like a guy who would like violent video games or shooters or anything like that.
Yeah, but I also don't want to like. I don't like anything where I had to get like too invested
Right.
in. Like I didn't want to like create a character and like make it do things because I was like theoretically I could be building my own character and doing things. But no, I'll just watch
then-
TV. Yeah, but
you
if I'm
chose
gonna
to do neither.
if I'm gonna put in the work, it's
Right.
gonna be in real life. Not it's same thing as like I don't play basketball games on I don't play basketball video games because why don't I just play basketball?
Mhm.
But really, I just didn't either.
Right.
It's like I just don't like basketball and I'm not good at sports.
Yeah, it's weird. There's a lot of video games nowadays that are just kind of like mundane tasks.
Yeah, like those games that are like Simpsons Tapped Out,
Yeah,
where it's basically like you get points, but just like
by just like opening up the app and doing things
yeah,
every few hours.
and then they like try to get you to accidentally buy something.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good business model. Who would have thought that that'd be like one of the most lucrative business models?
By far.
That's where capitalism has matured to the point where it's like scams where they make you accidentally buy fake coins in a simulated world.
Yeah.
That's how most people in tech are making their money.
Yeah. And that's kind of, it's kind of what our simulation's like, man. The one we're all in.
This what I had previously thought
was
the
reality. But
but
now you know it's not.
Let me ask you this, man.
Uh-huh. We should keep calling each other man while we do this.
Yeah. Like, wrap your head around this one.
Man.
If this is a simulation, isn't it just reality, man? Like, isn't that like what it is?
I didn't like it when you said man that time. It sounded too sincere. No, in a lot of ways, yes.
Isn't that what, like, when people are, like, talking about, like, God and a higher power, isn't that just, like...
Could be some pimply teen.
Yeah, but, like, why does that have to be
we're all Sims for?
Yeah, but, like, maybe he's also a sim for somebody else, and
Well,
it's just,
yeah.
like, if
And it
that goes on
around and
infinitely...
around.
Yeah, and so it's like, well, who cares, man? Then just ride this snake till the end.
What?
Is that a thing?
I don't think so.
All right. I think it should be a thing.
Well, it is now.
Yeah, man. That's my best advice. If I ever give a commencement address...
That's how it's going to end?
Yeah, just ride this... Well, that'd be the theme. Just ride this snake wherever it slithers all the way to the end.
Anyway.
Some good wisdom. And then we'll all put the tassels on the other side of our hats.
From there to hither, wherever it slithers.
Exactly, Tom. This opens up a whole line of merch.
Yeah. And virtual merchandise.
Yeah, merchandise.
So, that's another big part of it, Tim, is that, and the reason why it's thought to be likely by a lot of people and not just like, oh, that'd be crazy if that would happen, is if you think about, okay, everybody can kind of agree within the next like 50, 100 years, we're going to have crazy computers and crazy games and simulations where we're going to be able to simulate tons of stuff. So then you start to think about...
Like, do you think we'll be able to ever simulate a city?
Yeah, Tim. Then you would be able to build a quote-unquote Sim City.
Interesting. It begs the question, what's the better purchase, an airport or a stadium?
Mm-hmm.
Right? The age-old question. Hopefully one day we'll have computers powerful enough
To figure it out.
to answer this question.
So if that's true, if once you get a powerful enough computer, you can simulate reality realistically, well then how do we know that some kind of intelligent beings didn't exist a million years ago and they just keep building. They built a sim, and then that sim got advanced enough that it built a sim.
Right.
And that got advanced enough that it built a sim. So then you think, well, what are the odds that we're in like reality 1 and we're going to be the first people to build a sim versus that we're one of trillions of sims out there in the universe?
Right.
You know, it could be humans, could be aliens. They're just like, let's make some things that look like this. That would be funny.
So what you're saying
Mm-hmm.
is the Matrix, right?
Right.
So, like, what if all those guys who are the bad guys in the Matrix? Keep in mind, I've never seen the Matrix.
Mr. Smith.
Right, but if they
Agent
themselves, like in the world where everybody's being harvested, if they themselves, that world itself was a creation of some other world, is that what the other Matrixes were about? Matrices?
That's heavy, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, the simulation hypothesis, where it differs from something like the Matrix, is in the idea that that we're not in some vat of goo somewhere plugged in. That's like we don't really exist. That we're just
Okay, all right.
ones and zeros ourselves, bits and pieces.
Yeah, man, but like it's fine. Like who? What are we gonna quibble?
Well, but it would change a lot of stuff if we knew this was a simulation.
What would it change?
It would. Anything could be possible, Tim.
Anything is possible, Tom.
Oh, well, that's
Haven't you heard my graduation address?
Yeah, but that was mostly just about snakes. And to be honest, Tim, not very good advice about snakes. Not once did you say keep away.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I didn't make clear that it was a metaphorical.
Right, that you shouldn't actually
Snake.
try and ride a snake.
Right.
Could you ride a snake? Are there big enough snakes you could
They'd
ride?
wrap around you. Yeah, you could ride a boa constrictor if it didn't kill you.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you like, I don't know, paid it or something not to.
You'd have to do more than pay it, my friend.
If you paid it in mice.
Yeah, you'd have to feed a lot of mice. Send its kids to snake college.
But where they can hear your speech.
Exactly.
I'm like, oh, that's why that man paid to ride my father. But like a big, what's the biggest snake? Anacondas.
Yeah. You could put a saddle on that.
No, I'm saying like lay on it. Like,
Why not?
yeah. How come people don't use that as a mode of transportation?
Because the anaconda will kill them.
Yeah, but what if it was
Haven't
like,
you ever seen the movie Anaconda?
what if
That's
it-
pretty much what they tried to do the whole time.
What if it was like well trained though, and
Yeah,
you gave
true.
it enough mice?
I don't think there's any taming a anaconda.
Yeah, they're pretty dumb.
Tom, I want to watch what you're saying here.
Well, I'm just
They're
saying
very powerful animals.
that doesn't make them smart.
They're very powerful in the podcasting realm.
Oh, that way.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Okay.
We'll have our heads for this.
So, oh man, I started talking about snakes. Man, and now I can't remember what I was going to say about this, about the simulation. Oh, yeah. Well, anything could be possible. And then some people think,
Yeah, but Tom, the thing is, like, what does that functionally mean? Like, it doesn't mean that we can break out of this.
No, not really, because that's the thing
And
too.
I wouldn't want to. It's like,
You like it here, Tim. It's your home.
yeah, it's like in Jim Carrey at the end of the Truman Show.
Uh-huh.
Look, he rides that boat to the wall,
Right.
and he gets out or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The world probably ate that doe-eyed doofus alive.
Yeah.
Truman, whatever, he was probably was dead within 45 minutes of entering the real world. Couldn't take it.
No, didn't that lady love him and she was going to come
Yeah,
save
like
him?
some one lady can protect you. No, this world's a cruel place.
Yeah.
Truman.
I'd like to know what the other TV shows were in that universe. Like, were there multiple? Because, I mean, anything's a hit on TV, they copy it. There would have had to have been copycat Truman shows.
That's true.
Yeah.
Um,
That's true, man.
yeah, man. When you think about it.
How could it not be a simulation if things like that click into place? A little too convenient.
Yeah. What other, like, I don't know, like, I feel like they'd have, like, a hipper version of the Truman Show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they'd, like, you know what? This is what would happen. They'd have the Truman Show, and NBC would be like, all right, we're going 24 hours a day of Truman.
Right. Cancel Friends.
Right. And then Fox comes and it's like, yeah, we're gonna have this baby and put it in a simulated world, but then we're like gonna do bad stuff to it. see what happens.
And our show is gonna be a cheaper version of this.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna like lie to it in like weird ways, encourage it to do bad things.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like, what if Truman was a murderer? We're gonna raise this baby to murder people
And see
like,
what happens.
Yeah, and then it's like it's a grittier Truman Show.
They probably wouldn't be able to say it's a grittier Truman Show. They'd get in trouble for that.
I don't know. Fox is pretty audacious with that kind of stuff.
Um,
Except they wouldn't say it's a grittier Truman Show because they'd be like, no, they'd rush it to production before the
first
actual Truman Show came on. Yeah,
well, Truman was born
on TV.
Yeah.
So they'd just get a lady who was further along,
Right.
in her
Or just
pregnancy.
a baby, and they'd be like, it's fine.
Yeah,
Put some jelly on that baby, and we'll pretend it came out just now.
exactly. Fox putting jelly on babies and lying to us.
Since 1984.
Hmm.
But if the world's simulated, Tim,
We keep getting off track, man. And I really want to know about this because it's a genuine concern of mine.
so a few things. One, you were saying like you can't get out of it, and that does make sense because if you think about like if I'm playing a video game, a character from my video game can't just like pop out of the screen.
Right, but but the thing is, what you're saying is that like it's AI that's like generating all this stuff. Like Mario doesn't have like
a conscience.
yeah, exactly. So like,
God, I hope he doesn't.
If he did, now that's the most terrifying. This is why we can't build that stuff.
Yeah,
because like. It's one thing if the computers like talk to each other or whatever in like computer language that we don't understand, right? Like or all ones and
Tim,
zeros.
Are you giving your okay on the internet and networking in general? Like it's okay if we let a few of these computers talk to each
I
other.
feel like it's been long enough. I'm familiar enough with the technology. I've learned enough about the technology that I'm willing to give it my stamp of approval.
Well,
Congratulations, everybody. Use the internet without fear of me coming down on you.
And of all these computers, now that we don't have them sequestered from each other, coming up with some kind of plan to get us.
Right. All right. Well, I'm not afraid of the singularity so much, Tom.
Okay.
Of like, because I am a little bit, but like also like, look,
What can
that's
you do
gonna
about
happen.
it?
Yeah. But the scariest thing
Mm-hmm.
is like making a virtual world where Mario's on the screen, and then like he turns to me and he's like, Tim, I'm gonna figure out a way to get out of this box. Like, as soon as
I'm gonna fucking get you.
yeah, as long as there's no like mechanism for like some anthropomorphic figure to speak directly to me, that was. I mean, this is like a phobia I've had since I was a young boy. I would always hate it, like on the Muppets when they'd like
Talk to you
when they'd break the fourth wall, and like they did it on like a sitcom once in a while, right? Like they and it like. Creeped the hell out of me. So if anybody ever
why did it did you think that they actually could see you, or you just didn't like the illusion being shattered?
Yeah, it was just like come on guys, you don't have to do this.
You don't have to do this, scare old Tim.
Come on, I tuned in once a week.
You need to give old Tim a fright. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, so but can you imagine like they were actually like they knew?
Yeah.
Like it was like that's a place, that's a bridge too far in my opinion.
You ever, oh man, maybe I shouldn't even say this out loud, but I used to kind of think about the same stuff when I was a kid, but I would think like I was on the Truman Show, kind of. But
I would think that too, like pre-Truman Show, right?
Yeah, and that is like an actual like diagnosable illness, like mental illness. But I would think about that, and I would basically try and do what you're afraid of Mario doing, which was like every once in a while, I just like turn around real quick and go, I know you can see me.
Can you imagine being your parents and seeing that happen? Yeah. Just you like jumping around like with like a scowl on your face. Like terrified a little bit, right?
Like, you like this? You like watching?
You creep.
Yeah,
You pervert.
I would have got sent away forever.
Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah, I feel like maybe you shouldn't even. Maybe we should edit that out. Maybe
Yeah.
like even now, 30 years later.
Yeah, I don't want to get put up for adoption now.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to start over.
Yeah. The other.
So be glad, Tim, you're not playing any video games that have characters that think like me. And just, even if they aren't aware, or just like, you know what, just for the hell of it, I'm going to say it just in case.
I have this now. It's not the exact same thing, but you know that show, What Would You Do?
Mm-hmm.
Not the old Mark Summers show.
Yeah.
There's one on ABC.
I do that sometimes to Ghosts, too.
Well, they put on this show. They put people in like messed up situations, or like
not the Mark Summers.
No,
I was like half listening.
Yeah,
and
I
I was
know.
like, yeah, I know what we
no,
do.
you were thinking about the times you threatened ghosts. I think was what your mind ran away with.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they put these things where like they'll send these. They'll equip a diner with like
Hidden cameras.
Yeah. And then they'll put actors as like the waiter and these two customers or whatever.
Yeah.
And they'll have a customer like say racist things to a waiter and see how like unsuspecting people respond to that.
See if they're cowards or not.
Right. Or, sometimes people just like, whatever.
I've seen that show sometimes where like people have done the right thing, but like it's still like then they go talk to that person. They're like, oh, good. This was What Would You Do? Not the Mark Summers show. They always have to.
You're not going to send me to the Pie Pod.
Yeah. Because people are always very excited. Like, oh, where's Mark Summers? And I'm like, no, it's different.
John Quinciones or something.
Yeah.
But so we live in New York City, so
Mm-hmm.
messed up things happen all the time, and I'm constantly afraid that like
that you're on What Would You Do?
yeah. So like it's kind of it. If everybody's a little bit like me,
Mm-hmm.
or if a lot of people are like me, or if just some people are like me, this horrible show has had a net good effect because like I am more
Keeping everyone on their toes.
yeah, I'm more apt to do the right thing because maybe there's a camera on me. That's why I walk down the street going, I know you're watching me. I know you're watching me.
I'm going to do the right thing.
Yeah, you're going to see what I would do. You're going to see what I will do.
Everyone's going to see what I'm going to do. Yeah, I've seen that show, though, where sometimes people will do the right thing. They come over and they're like, hey, good. What would you do? Not Mark Summers. You did the right thing. But like sometimes it's like older people and they're like, that's great. I'm gonna like have a heart attack because like I got such an adrenaline rush because I went into it like I confronted a situation, which I normally this situation doesn't happen in day-to-day life, and I thought like me calling some stranger out at a gas station for being not a rapist for racist was going to turn into like a fist fight.
Yeah. What do they have to do? Like at some point,
well,
like,
Tim, you should watch their sister show. What do they have to do? It's a behind the scenes look.
No, they had this one where like they had guys in or near an airport.
Okay.
They had guys dressed up like pilots.
Uh-huh. Oh, getting drunk, right?
Getting hammered.
Yeah.
Do they like have to like call the 911 dispatch and be like, hi, if you get any calls of pilots getting hammered, disregard it. We're making a television program.
Disregard it, probably. It might be a different place with pilots getting drunk. Yeah, because that's if you were at a bar near an airport and you saw pilots getting drunk and talking about how they were about to go on a plane, yeah, you would probably not go confront them. You just call 911 or call the airport.
There's
or something.
another one where they like showed a couple. They hired actors to be
what are you
a
gonna
couple
do? Like
on a.
physically restrain them from leaving?
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a one where there's a couple on a date, and the woman goes to the bathroom, and the man roofies her drink.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what happens if someone just walks up and like punches that guy in the face?
Yeah.
Best episode of What Would You Do? No Pie Pod or Pie Coaster.
Right.
But
no, I bet they're itching for somebody to punch an actor in the face.
Yeah.
We all are.
Actors had it too good for too long.
And they got it coming. This episode of The Complete Guide to Everything is brought to you by Loot Crate. Loot Crate is a monthly subscription box service for epic geek and gamer items and pop culture gear. For less than $20 a month, you get 4 to 8 items. that include licensed apparel, gear, collectibles, unique one-of-a-kind items, and more. Make sure to head to lootcrate.com/everything and enter code everything to save $3 on any new subscription. But, Tim, Loot Crate is more than just a subscription service. I know that you were just about to say.
I was going to say, well, this is just a subscription service, so I'll just move on.
No, Tim. It's an entire community of fans that share their experiences and interact with each other around the unboxing of each month's crate. Every month you get a box full of surprises, Tim, like Christmas 12 times a year, 13 times a year if you still have regular Christmas.
Yeah.
And they guarantee $40 plus in value in every crate. Sometimes it's a lot more. Every month there's a different theme, and all the items are curated around that theme. Previous crates have included items from franchises like Star Wars.
I thought you were going to say items from France.
Some of these might. Tim, you never know what's going to be in there.
Yeah.
Star Wars, Marvel, The Walking Dead, The Legend of Zelda, and many more. Pop culture is full of brave new worlds and societies in flux that don't always turn out for the best. Tim, this is...
Some of them don't even turn out to be real. Some of them are just simulations.
Well, I was going to say, Tim, this actually fits a lot into what we're talking about, because June's theme will be exploring some of the ways things can go wrong with dystopia, featuring classics RoboCop, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and The Matrix. And new...
what about maybe a Donald Trump presidency, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And new faves, BioShock Infinite and Fallout 4. We've got a figure, cool collectibles, and of course, our dystoporific monthly tee. That's a t-shirt, Tim. Remember, you give them your size, and they send a t-shirt in your size. That's very considerate.
That's better than a random size.
Yeah. Remember, you only have until the 19th at 9 p.m. Pacific time, that is, to subscribe and receive that month's crate. And when the cutoff happens, that's it. It's over. So go to lootcrate.com/everything and enter promo code everything to save $3 on your new subscription today. So, Tim, it's not just the idea that what I was saying with, if a civilization creates a simulation, they create a simulation, blah, 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 then the odds are that we're in a simulation. There's evidence that we're in a simulation.
Chemtrails.
No, not
Is this
chemtrails.
more about chemtrails, Tom?
No, Tim. Chemtrails that would be the least of our concerns.
Okay.
Still a very big concern, Tim. Don't get me wrong.
No, I'm not saying it's a concern. It's at like a tip off.
It is.
Is that the cursor moving around the screen?
Do you think Skywriter is gonna spell out like it's a simulation?
Maybe somebody had to break it to Truman.
I mean, that would be a good idea to rent a Skywriter and just have them spell out
the world
this
isn't
real. It's all a simulation.
Yeah. I don't know if many people would understand the context of that skywritten sentence.
Well, you'd have to make sure nobody saw the plane putting it up there.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe afterwards you could say I'm typing this on a computer and I have one of those cursor change things to make my cursor look like an airplane.
You know what?
That's going to cost you a fortune to spell all that.
And it's going to have to be a fast airplane to get all that, because it starts to
it starts
dissipate
to fuzz
a little
out,
bit. Yeah. If you could get a few planes working and then distract everybody,
hey everyone, look over here.
Yeah, exactly. When the circus is in town or something. You'd
be amazed
planes.
how much shenanigans goes on when the circus is in town and everybody's distracted.
Exactly.
God, that's
when I pull my biggest schemes,
yeah.
Tom.
When the circus comes to town, that's known as a con man's holiday. How come? Are there people that think, people who believe in chemtrails that think skywriters are in on this too? Because that would be the best way to hide chemtrails.
In skywriting.
Yeah.
Now, what's the deal with chemtrails?
That people think
it's chemicals that are controlling us in some way.
Yeah, and sterilizing us and all kinds of stuff.
There are way easier ways to do that to the population.
Yeah. And it's just when planes go, they create a vapor trail.
But here's the argument goes like this, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
It's playing devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
Never used to happen.
It did used to happen.
That's Tom.
Anyway, so there's evidence besides skywriting, though,
right.
that this is all a simulation.
Oh, okay. What else?
So there's this guy. He's like a physicist, and he's investigating.
Sounds like a lie.
It's
He's
not
a physicist.
It's
and,
not a lie. It's
like
just...
the nervous gulp in the middle.
Gulp?
All right, Tom. All right, Tom. Think of something. What's his name? His name is Doctor. Come on, Richardson.
What's a job a rich guy, or not a rich guy, a smart guy would have? Physicist. Yeah, that's it. No, it's not that I'm making it up. It's that I didn't completely understand what this guy's doing myself. So I'm trying to. He's that smart.
He's shockingly smart. Yeah.
But he was talking to Neil deGrasse Tyson, who everybody agrees is a real know-it-all.
Yeah.
And
when did the tide turn on him?
I don't know. It happened quick. Where everybody's like, "We love this guy," and then the next day, everybody's like, "All right, nerd, can it?
Yeah, shut up.
Stop trying to ruin everything."
Yeah, you jerk.
With your actually. But this guy was on Neil deGrasse Tyson's show, and he was explaining to him. He investigates. He's like a quantum physicist. And investigates like super small, like the tiniest elements of reality, like subatomic junk.
Like salt crystals.
No, Tim.
Grains of sand.
Do you think that's what quantum physics is?
I can't think of anything that's smaller than that, Tom. Ants. Some ants.
Some ants. Some very small ants.
Baby ants.
Baby ants.
Yeah.
So what do you investigate here at the quantum physics laboratory? Well, if we keep all the sand over there, here's where the baby, once they become full-grown ants, we have to throw them out.
Yeah. Let's set them free.
Set them free.
But by then we've done so much
sandwich.
work on them. Yeah.
So he investigates super small stuff. And when things get subatomic, like everything goes haywire.
When things get subatomic and start getting real.
Yeah, where subatomic kind of doesn't make sense. It works different than how we think of physics, where it's not like matter anymore. It's like vibration.
No, I think it matters, Tom.
Tim, shut the hell up and let me explain this. So... he gets, oh, God damn, I forgot what I was even saying. Very small.
All right.
It's basically just vibrations and information. This guy kept going smaller, kept going deeper. You know what he found? Like at the...
more ants, right?
No.
I'm sure.
Even smaller ants.
There's no limit to how small these ants can get.
Yeah.
The more powerful the microscopes we develop, the more ants the smaller the ants we see.
Get.
Yeah. It's incredible, really.
These ants keep getting smaller, and I keep staying the same size.
Tom, I have an excuse. I'm lightheaded. What's your excuse?
I don't know, Tim. It's hot. Everything's just maybe the person running the simulations like, these guys are getting too close to the truth. Make them giggly idiots so nobody believes them.
Smart.
Yeah.
Well played. We know what you're doing. Staring at the ceiling.
I saw. Thanks
Yelling
for directing.
at the ceiling, yeah.
But so this guy got all the way down. You know what he... God, I'm not even going to ask you what he found. I'm just going to tell you. He found computer code.
What?
He found computer code.
Bull.
Not only was it computer code, Tim, it was like a specific type of computer code that was invented in the 70s.
This guy is a classic freaking hoaxer.
Well, I mean, he did reveal all this while the carnival was in town.
Exactly. Oh, look, the elephants, the March of the Elephants. Yeah. And meanwhile, he's like, oh, yeah, while you were all at the circus, this is what I discovered.
I discovered this and wrote a report up. No, it's computer code down there, which is like, what the hell is that about? How'd that get in there?
I don't, like, he saw it. How do you observe something?
I don't really understand, Tim. I think he used math to do it.
So, like, it's beyond... like where everything is just vibrations.
Right. There's just information down there, and the information's computer code.
Right. I think this guy is a crank, And I think, unfortunately, our most prominent physicist, Neil deGrasse Tyson, has been hoodwinked by a hoax, by a classic circus point-and-look hoax.
So there are other things, Tim. You know about non-locality?
Yeah, duh.
You don't.
It's things that are far away.
Tim.
What? Things that aren't local to you are further away, and I
Right.
guess what he's saying is that in order
What
to
is
get
he
there,
saying? It's not this guy. It's not the same guy, Tim.
how do I know, Tom?
So non-locality is a part of quantum physics where things, quantum particles, can be light years away, but still connected to each other. Where like you change one, and one light years away changes instantaneously at the same time. That's what instantaneously means.
Right.
So that also feeds into the hypothesis that we're all in a simulation, because that would work if we're inside a computer. It, like in a computer world, there's no distance. So
Right.
things can change instantly and be connected to each other no matter how far away they are. And we're starting to find, like, we think the universe is infinite. No, we're starting to find like boundaries.
No, we're not.
We're finding boundaries. And get this, Tim, we're finding boundaries where, like, when you look at the boundary, it's like pixelated.
You know what, Tom?
It's like fuzzy. It's like, we didn't.
But how are we
didn't-
finding this? Like,
telescopes and math.
here's my problem.
Open a book up, Tim.
I watched. I don't need to read a book. I watched the first 40 minutes of the new Cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I'm a firm believer in science, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
And as Neil deGrasse Tyson would say to me, is you don't have to believe in science. Whether or not you believe it, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Science is science. I saw him like chastise somebody for like agreeing with
Just
him
on the street.
I think that's my problem with Neil deGrasse Tyson, because like I think
He's very smug. He
and-
acts like he came up with science.
well, he acts like everything. Like, I don't like the people that
He's preachy about science.
No, I enjoy that. I think people need to be preachy about science. I don't like when a person acts like everything is picking a fight,
Right.
especially like when he has so many big fans that are just like trying to be like, hey, I agree with you for this, and I believe in science, like trying to like be his friend, and then like he just like, you don't have to believe it, idiot. It's bigger than you.
Right.
It's my job.
And smaller than you.
It's all around us.
Small ants. Look out.
Wait, there are bigger ants?
What do you mean?
Bigger than me?
No.
Oh,
I think there used to be, like, when dinosaurs were around.
No, I think you just watch those like weird old claymation movies.
No, when we had to fight the dinosaurs, sometimes there were really big bugs, too.
I think you might be thinking of Starship Troopers.
Oh, yeah. Now that you mention it, I am.
Now that you mention it, I'm always thinking of Starship Troopers.
Yeah, that scene where they're all in the shower together. Showering. Remember that?
I never saw that movie.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Seemed all right.
So yeah, the edges of the universe are kind of like
No, my problem with
fuzzy
with Cosmos is that they're showing all this like stuff, and it's like, and then when you get this far away, it looks exactly like this, and then when you get this far away, it looks exactly like this. And if we were to travel or send a camera this far away, it would take 600 billion years. It's like, then how do you know what it looks like?
Tim, you can figure out what things. I know you think of yourself as a smart guy, but I've heard this argument from you before of just like, yeah, well, how do you know if you haven't been there?
Yeah,
idiot?
you're showing me pictures of something and then being like, it would be
This
impossible
goes
to
back-
ever take a picture of this. Well, then guess what? It's not a picture.
Well, this goes back to your hatred of astronauts, I feel like.
Look, astronauts, they're fine. I don't hate them. I just think they're all overrated.
Right, yeah.
You got a room of 600 people doing everything, and then they're sitting in a chair, and then they come back and like, oh, who gets to sit in a parade? Not the 600 people. They're still working in Houston.
No, I think
in
a
a
lot
big
of
room.
I think a lot of times those people get to be in the parades too.
Yeah, but nobody cares about them. They don't get to wear a space helmet.
They also don't have parades for astronauts anymore.
Sad.
Yeah, it is sad. You know what? They can do parades for astronauts if they.
In Donald Trump's America, there'll be a parade for astronauts every day.
It'll be mandatory to go.
Yeah.
No, if they had like the spaceship in the parade, then people would be like, "Oh, cool." Because if you're going to a parade, and
I would go to a parade with an
"Hey."
alien spaceship in it.
Well, I wouldn't. I'd steer clear of that. You don't know what kind of defense systems are on there.
That's true.
Initiate parade mode,
Right.
parade kill mode. No, because they got people marching on the street. And they're like, these are astronauts. You just got to take the word for it. You don't know.
No, they're not marching, Tom. They're sitting in a convertible, waving.
Well, they got space sickness.
Yeah, they're wearing sashes.
Mm-hmm. They're not wearing sashes.
Sometimes they are.
They've never worn
tiaras.
sashes. Now that I'd go see. They're like, hey, you want to come down to the parade? The astronauts came back. They're all wearing their sashes and tiaras. But the simulation hypothesis also could explain a lot of supernatural goings-ons.
You know what? I don't believe any of that supernatural stuff.
Tim, you
anyway,
always tell me you're afraid of the Wolfman.
I'm afraid of the Wolfman. I'm not afraid of ghosts, though.
Wow. Don't let the Wolfman hear that. No, but that it could explain ghosts. It could explain aliens.
Well, you don't need to be in a simulation to explain aliens. The fact that another planet might be habitable.
Right. Well, no, but you kind of do because, like, we couldn't figure out how they would get here.
But they haven't been here, Tom.
But
I don't know. We'll find out when Hillary's president.
Yeah.
That's BS. Right?
You think she's just pandering to the...
Yeah, so her campaign came out and was like, well, as soon as, if Hillary's elected, we'll release all the Area 51
everything.
documents.
But it's like somebody who works for her is a big alien buff.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and they're like, all right, I know what we need to get the fringe weirdo element. We'll tell them we're going to do all this stuff.
He did work under, I think, like Obama's first term, and like kind of alluded to like I saw some of the stuff. I can't say anything. It's classified, but like people should know. People should see what there is.
I think if they wanted everybody to believe that it was weather balloons, they needed to explain what weather balloons were a little bit better.
Yeah,
I don't
and
think
put up some actual weather balloons once in a while.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand what a weather balloon is.
They would put balloons up to track the weather.
Yeah, I know that much, Tom.
All right, then what don't you know?
I ascertained that from the name.
Yeah,
but like, why do you need a balloon for that?
Because how else are you gonna get up there with a ladder?
What do you have to do, Tom? One thing on one hand, you're telling me, we know what light years away looks like without having a picture of it.
Well,
and this is like, well, we can't know the weather like a little bit further away unless we use balloons.
Because Tim, we can figure out what a huge thing looks like, but we can't figure out if it's gonna rain tomorrow or not.
Why not? You put a man on the moon, but you can't tell me if it's going to freaking rain tomorrow?
Because that's more specific.
You should have seen these pictures that Neil deGrasse Tyson was showing me on the Cosmos. Mm-hmm. They were very specific.
Were you freaked out when he was talking to you? When he was talking to the camera?
You know I don't like that, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was already a little hostile. I was a hostile viewer.
I imagine you flipping through, and it comes to him looking at the camera, and you're like, oh, man. Great, he saw me.
Tyson, you've done it again, you magnificent bastard.
Well, and I can't be rude. He sees me now. I have to keep watching this channel.
Oh, I'll scream at Tom about it.
He's probably already heard from Kermit how rude I can be.
All right, Tom. Before we solve a problem, you got anything more evidence that this is true? And also, what do we do about that? What do we do with this knowledge? Is what I'd like.
Hack it, Tim. Hack the system. Then we can do crazy stuff.
Like what?
Put on God mode.
But how are we going to do it? We don't know the operating system.
That's what I'm saying. But
and
there's got to be a real world equivalent. Up, down, left, right, A, B.
Is it just like the Matrix, where it's just you have to believe hard enough?
No, that's how people fall off buildings.
Yeah.
No, Tim, I don't know. I don't know how we hack the system, but we hack it,
I don't think we figure it out. And,
and then
another
you put
thing
in
is-
the infinite money code.
this guy, well, yeah, of course. Once we figure that out, if you figure that out, the God mode thing,
Right. If I do.
let's make a pact. You'll let me know, and if I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Great.
And then we'll split the
Well,
infinite money.
if one day I'm like, hey, Tim, guess what? I have $1 trillion.
Yeah.
And I won't tell you how I made it, read between the lines.
Okay, but then what do I do?
Come hang out in my swimming pool.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You know what? I think if a friend had $1 trillion,
Yeah.
I'd quit my job.
Yeah, I think you'd be able to rely on that person to take care of you.
Yeah, that's why you should be nice to everybody, because you never know who's going to figure out the God mode in the
Right.
simulated world and give themselves $1 trillion.
You never know who's going to have $1 million.
Yeah.
And then it would be no big deal to give. If I had $1 million, Tim, and you were like, hey, can I have $1? I'd be like, yeah, no sweat.
Yeah,
So if I had $1 million, you could be like, hey, can I have $1 million? I'd be like, yeah, of course. It's no big deal.
Great. This is my retirement
And
plan.
me figuring out how to hack the simulation we're in, getting $1 trillion and giving you $1 million.
Yeah, I'm banking on this.
Yeah,
all right,
well-
so I hope you're hard at work.
Tim, you should see all the things I've been doing to try and figure out how to enter the cheat codes. A lot of them are weird.
I don't doubt that.
I know you're watching. I know you can hear us. Tell us the cheat code. Write it on the wall.
Solve a problem. Hello and welcome to Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems. I'm Tim,
And I'm Tom.
and we're going to solve a problem. What?
Nothing.
What are you laughing
Nothing,
at? What are
Tim.
you all giggly about?
Just happy to be here.
All right. Tom? What are you laughing at?
Nothing.
I don't like this. This is unsettling.
I just got a case of the giggles.
All right. I don't like this one bit.
Okay. What's the segment?
Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems?
Great. I've heard of it. I remember it.
If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, email us at thecompleteguidetoeverything@gmail.com.
Or just yell it at the wall.
Yeah, as apparently.
And maybe by then one of us will have figured out the God code.
Yeah. Tom, this one comes to us from an anonymous young lady. What should we call her?
Samantha.
Samantha,
the simulated woman.
Okay. Dear Tim and Tom, I have a problem that needs solving. That's great, because as I explained before, the segment.
Good thing she didn't send us to a different segment.
My boyfriend and I live in a smallish city and are in related fields. We often find ourselves in professional meetings together. My problem is, what's the appropriate way to greet him? When I'm going around the table introducing myself and shaking hands, I'm always stumped when I get to him. If I shake his hand, that seems funny to the people at the meeting who know we're a couple.
Yeah. And if she tongue kisses him.
If I give him a more familiar greeting or skip shaking his hand, that seems weird to the other people that don't know that we're a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Like all other couples, our ordinary greeting is a kiss on the lips.
Whoa.
But that seems way out of line for a business meeting.
Yeah. What if the next guy down the line's like, hey, how about some sugar for me?
Tom, here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
2 additional considerations. Number 1, I am a regulator and my boyfriend is in the private sector.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give the impression that he gets preferential treatment.
Right.
And 2, we do have a bit of a scandalous past. My boyfriend thinks that a more familiar greeting would make other people uncomfortable. I say there have been other more interesting scandals since ours, and most people will have forgotten. Please help, since we live in the smallest town. I'd like to keep my name and location anonymous. She didn't tell us her location.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Samantha.
Just somewhere in the simulation.
What do you think the scandal is?
Yeah, that's what. So they have a scandalous. How can they have a scandalous past that people know about, but people don't know that they're a couple?
Yeah, I guess it's not everybody knows about it.
Right.
But the other thing is,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, this isn't a problem that you need to solve. It's a problem that regulation needs to solve. Like, you shouldn't be allowed to regulate your boyfriend's business. Right?
Yeah.
Right? It's a classic
Conflict of interest.
It's a classic power couple situation, man.
Yeah, that's probably.
It's where you got
How do you
somebody
think they got all these meetings?
somebody with a lot of political power and somebody with a lot of private sector power, and they're sharing information in bed.
Yeah, between the sheets.
Yeah, pillow talk.
Mm-hmm.
Pillow talk, everybody.
Pillow kissing, even.
Kissing and talking and trade secrets and
Yeah.
letting people off the hook and loopholes and all this.
Mm-hmm.
Shut it down is what I say.
Okay.
Shut it all down. Shut down the businesses. Shut down the regulators.
Mm-hmm.
And we just live off the land.
I want to shut down the businesses and the regulators.
This is why I'm so disappointed that Bernie Sanders. I mean, that
Couldn't
was
be on the show today.
Yeah, but I'm sure he would concur. Just
With the meetings where they pretend like they don't know each other, even though they are kissing.
they are kissing. It's a Seinfeld situation.
You've got
Tom.
millionaires kissing billionaires and becoming billionaires themselves.
Look, I know you have a scandalous past, but like the worst thing is
Having a scandalous future.
Exactly, Tom. Jump off. Don't ride this snake.
Unless you're trading futures on scandals.
Wow, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is good. Yeah, the thing is, once somebody finds out that like you like played it cool, and it's like, if
then
you're
it
like,
looks like there's something
hello,
to
I'm
hide.
Samantha.
Yeah.
Oh, Tony Misselli, nice to meet you. And it's like, guys.
Tim, do you think that that's the business being regulated? Male nannies?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It seems to me that needs a lot of look.
A lot of lobbying and stuff.
Yeah, well, Angela freaking hires Tony, right?
Yeah.
And suddenly nobody knows who the boss is.
Yeah.
Angela's the boss.
Well.
Some would say Mona, maybe.
Uh-huh.
But certainly not Tony.
You know who should be the boss is the government. The
Exactly.
regulations. The rules should be the boss.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Break up. Get married. If you get married, you can't testify against each other.
Yeah. It's always a weird thing to me, like so many situations like in workplaces. Like really any workplace, it's like if people meet and date, it's always a secret, right?
Yeah.
But then like people work together, they're married, and that's fine.
Yeah. You got to put a ring on it. That's company policy. Company policy. If you like it, should have put a ring on it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's the door, buddy. Use it. Don't let it hit you on your bum.
Yeah.
I don't know. What would you do in this situation? Like, picture this.
Mm-hmm.
You,
Mm-hmm.
young lady,
Mm.
business meeting.
Mm.
Oh, wow. I
An
thought that would
erotic
be a
business meeting.
No, just a regular business meeting.
Well, in some ways, most business meetings are at least a little erotic.
I haven't found that to be the case, Tom.
No, you
Going to
have
the
go
wrong. I'm
on.
in the wrong business, apparently. What would you do? Like, honestly, if some people didn't know.
You know what? I think I would play it off like I wouldn't pretend like I know the person, but I wouldn't French them.
Yeah, exactly.
I would just be like, "Hey, you."
Hey, well, you do that?
Yeah. Maybe not those exact words, but I'd be like, you know what I'd do? I'd
You-
probably be like, "Oh, I don't know this person." Like, "Oh, nah,"
Both
because
of
then that
those
might
seem
invite.
terrible.
Yeah. Well, I'm not very good in meetings. Tim.
Just for everybody who can't see Tom, which is everybody but me.
Uh-huh.
Tom said, what was the first thing you said?
That I would.
You did like a cat's paw thing.
Yeah, like, "Oh, you."
Hi.
Hi.
Like, it's like, no, don't do that.
Yeah,
that's
that's too flirtatious.
yeah, that's.
Yeah. And then now that I think about it, you don't want to be like, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you," like a jokey, because then people would be like, "Oh, they know each other," and then somebody else would be like, "Yeah, they're fucking."
Jesus, Tom.
Well, Tim, you know what? Maybe the business they're in, people are very, just cut and dry about things.
Yeah, that's true. But like, I mean, see, this is the problem. It's a regulator.
Mm-hmm.
Her job is to cut to the
Regulators.
chase.
Yeah.
Hey, enough of this. It's quit giving me the runaround.
Yeah.
What's the bottom line? I'm taking it or something. I don't know how regulation
regulate you in the bedroom.
works. God, Tom,
You
I
can't.
don't like where this is.
You've broken a bunch of rules and regulations, and now you're gonna have to be fined punitively.
Let's say her beau's name is Doug, right? If she just walks in and she's like, and there's a bunch of people, and she's like, "Hi, how are you? I'm Samantha. I'm Samantha." And then she just goes like, "Oh, hello, Doug."
Yeah.
And they shake hands. They do that little thing where one of them tickles the palm, but
Tim, that's not
very-
a romantic
but
thing to
very
do.
discreetly. That
Just
way,
in a way of like,
because
I
like
know.
if you do if you act formal in too many meetings,
Yeah.
the spark gets lost in the relationship, and next thing you know, you're splitting up because
Right.
this has gotten too professional.
And if
so
you
gotta
give the
keep-
little finger tickle in the handshake, that way you let him know that you know what you're doing, so he doesn't blow the whole thing by going like, "What do you mean, nice to meet you? You're my girlfriend." Duh.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm assuming Doug is a dimwit.
Yeah. I was gonna say when you were going around meeting, and somebody was like, "Oh, and this is Doug," you'd be like, "Nice to meet you, Dud."
Yeah, another thing that you could do is just like nonstop roasting, ragging on this guy.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, like this fucking idiot knows. Like anytime he says something like, oh yeah, real smart idea, Doug.
Yeah, or when he talks, just be like, "Duh, duh, 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 duh."
I think that's the best.
Anyone with half a brain got anything to contribute to this meeting?
All right, I think we solved that one.
If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us to completeguideeverything@gmail.com. You can go to our website, tcgt.com, find out more about the show, more about other episodes. You can find our ways to support the show, like tcgt.com/Amazon, where you do your regular Amazon shopping. We get a little cut. And tcgt.com/pledge, where you can pledge to the show on Patreon and get cool, fun bonuses like a new episode of Amazing Facts every week. This week, we talk about
Alaska.
Why'd you want it to sound like you edited that in?
Yeah, I mean, we just recorded it
Yeah.
like an hour ago.
And even if we hadn't recorded it, we still would have known the topic. It would have been fine.
I just like people thinking that, like, they've got like things, they've got episodes banked. It's a whole operation over
Yeah.
there.
Well regulated.
Well regulated. Don't worry about us.
They're
All
not
our
kissing
ducks
regulators.
are in a row.
All our Dougs are in a row. You can also check out our subreddit, TCGTE, on Reddit, reddit.com/r/TCGTE.
Yeah, it doesn't get weird like a lot of Reddit does.
No. You can also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/complete guide. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram @complete guide.
Nope, on Instagram it's at TCGTE.
Oh, good. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram @Tom Reynolds.
You follow me on those things at your pal Tim. What's going on? This is like a sprawling version of
Tim,
the
there's too
outro.
many goddamn things to plug nowadays. We got to whittle them down.
Yeah. One last thing. The London Podcast Festival is in
Yes.
September. Our shows are the 23rd and 24th of September. The festival goes a couple more days, 22nd to the 25th. I don't know. Look it up.
It's a long weekend.
It's a long weekend. It's at the best place in the world, King's Place. We're doing 2 shows. So London, we're not going to stop talking about it until you buy all the tickets.
Yeah.
So just buy the tickets now.
Just buy all the tickets so we don't have to talk about it.
Somebody, if I think, you know what? I think Elon Musk got off pretty easy this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than sue us into oblivion, maybe he should just buy up the rest of the tickets to our live shows so we could stop talking about it.
What if we got to the show, Tim, and in like the 200-seat theater, it's empty except for Elon Musk all the way in the back.
Fine.
And he was just going,
Influential.
"Oh."
If he liked it, I'd be all right with that.
He'd probably give us a cool ride home.
Yeah. You want to ride my sexy automobile? What's the tcgte.com/live
or tour.
or tour? Should I check it out?
I don't think either is active right now.
Oh, well, we did give it out last week,
Yeah,
so that
tcgt.com/tour.
okay. Yeah, what does that do? Oh yeah, we couldn't find the page you're looking for.
Yeah.
The classic 404, Tom.
Classic 404 situation.
Man, that's
Hey, what's the 404 on that webpage?
it's down. That's what I say. What are we talking about?
About seeing everybody next week?
Yeah, guys, thanks for bearing with us this week. Sorry I said the D word in the first minute of the episode.
Dick.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
No, I thought I was calling you.
Yeah, I know. I concurred.
You don't even have the honor to wear that sock.
Hey, give it back.
You're a disgrace.
Ah, give me back my sock, pervert.